This millionaire is giving away the secrets on should you buy gold. Let's find out.
What you've got is a wasting asset, which is essentially useless. People say that gold is a good inflation hedge, but...
Is gold a good investment? It's recently hit its highest price in real terms since the 1980s. But is it actually worth it? Ramin Nakisa is host of Pensioncraft and a friend of the podcast. Born in the hearts of stars, cast into the universe, carried here on asteroids, put in the ground, we dig it up, we form it into bars, and then we stick it back underground. We go, look, it's worth money. It's pretty crazy.
So I never pay any attention to the narrative. I just look at the numbers.
Do you think that we could see a crash then in the gold price?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's unbelievably crashy.
We're going to have a conversation about
Crazy.
gold today. I want to talk about Temain's gold first of all. Yeah. Who do you think should be buying gold? Do you think anyone should be?
Is it a must-have in a portfolio? I think no. And I think for someone who's just starting out with investing, the one fund approach, the bond equity split or the money market fund equity split is probably all you need, because you can dial the risk up and down. You've got your return. That's everything that you really need to control. And the good returns that you get with equity are what you should be focusing on. But in retirement, think of it this way. If there's a crash, you have gone from putting money in when you could be making use of the crashes to taking money out when, if you're 100% equity, just to take an extreme case, let's say you're taking out 5% every year, the size of the pot halves because it's 100% equity and that could happen. Now you're taking out twice the percentage every year to live. So that's why the compression is dangerous. And that's why you have to diversify. So if you had gold in there alongside equity, then the gold won't have crashed. You could sell the gold instead of the equity, give equity time to recover. So how would you choose which things to buy, which wouldn't crash? Well, you choose as many as possible. Gold is one of them. Maybe a commodity fund would be another. A money market fund would be another. A gilt ladder, where you buy UK government bonds, that would be another. All of these things would give you alternatives in an equity market crash to live off and eat and sell while equity recovers. So you don't milk your portfolio too much and shorten its life too much. So I think post-retirement, there's a fairly good case to be made for gold. And now some people buy it in the accumulation phase, like you two. You get these portfolios like Golden Butterfly, where a fifth of it is in gold, and it backtests very well. So, some people do, but I don't think it's an absolute necessity.
And when you're saying they backtest very well, what do you mean by that in terms of what are the results that it produces?
So in terms of the returns it produces, and I think this is primarily because during the crash periods, it doesn't crash as much. The return of the individual assets isn't as high, but when you get the crashes, the recovery time's faster because it didn't fall so much. Mm-hmm. So that's why
is it the risk-adjusted return point again, that it delivers a better risk-adjusted return?
That's exactly it. You look at the risk-adjusted return, units of return divided by units of risk. So that's, on a risk-adjusted basis, you could make a case for including some gold, even in the accumulation phase.
Yeah, and would that be for people then that are saying, I want to invest, I want to do okay, but I don't want to see the value of my investments drop by a lot, because that's going to scare me off. So
that's silly.
You can
that just
improve
happens.
the risk-adjusted return, a smoother ride, but the end destination would likely be lower than if you just had the equity position, which is like the full throttle version.
Yeah, I mean, psychologically, the benefit of that is that you don't see the crashes. And for many people, they don't like the crashes. If you're used to it psychologically,
you kind of love them, don't you? When you get used to it, you become like...
Then it's fine.
Buy one, get one
but
free.
For some people, seeing that 20, 30% fall, they don't sleep at night. I know that because I speak to them. They tell me, I just couldn't even imagine that. So for those people, this would make more sense. It would be more psychologically tuned to the way they approach investing. And I think for certain people, that would be a benefit.
So Ramin, definitively, do you think gold is a good investment?
I don't think it's an absolute necessity. So if we look at portfolios and I don't see gold, will I panic? No. Whereas if I see no safe assets and the person's got a nervous disposition, that would worry me. But, as part of a portfolio, a diversified portfolio, certainly in retirement, I think it's got a place.
Yeah. What are you saying to the people that are sitting here screaming at the screen now, or on audio in their cars or on the toilet or whatever? Gold is money. This is a comment I get. Like, the gold is real money. The money we have is not money, It's value, it's all of this. It's thousands of years old. It will be here for thousands of more years.
try paying
Good
your
question.
taxes in gold. Not going to work. So if you buy sovereigns in the UK or Britannias, those are treated like
Because
currency.
they've got the king's face on them and they've got an amount. But they're
you know-
worth more than the printed amount on them, probably, right?
Probably, but
Wait, but can't you just like exchange your gold for cash? You know?
difficulty there is if you buy physical gold, which is that if you have to sell it, it's often quite expensive to sell. There's a big bid offer spread. And the other problem, I guess, is going to be storing, because some people physically store it. My dad did when he bought gold. He hid it somewhere in the house. He did an unbelievably good gold trade. You remember when it surged up to the 80s, 1980? He bought some in the 75, I think it was.
Wow.
Hid it in the house, didn't tell me where it was, and that really annoyed young Roman, because I looked everywhere for it.
Where's the house?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be like that guy with the treasure in in America.
No, he sold it at exactly the right time, just
Oh,
before
he
the
did
bubble.
sell the gold.
Just before that bubble popped in 1980.
Bloody hell, he did
so he
well.
timed it perfectly.
Buying gold at the time when they were saying the dollar is no longer pegged to it feels like quite a risky thing. You know, they're basically rewriting the rules at that point of the monetary system. And your dad was like, yes, let's buy a bit of the gold.
Well, he was an economist and he had lots of really crazy ideas, but sometimes he was very right. You know, he made a lot of money in business, so, you know, obviously he knew his stuff. So, but I wish he'd told me where it was.
You think? Did he know about you becoming a YouTuber and doing what you do today?
No, sadly, that happened after he died. But
I think he'd be very
Listen.
proud.
I think he'd be pleased, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, right?
Obviously, he knew your work within the finance sector.
Yeah, but when I was a scientist, he wasn't really into that. He didn't think that was the kind of valid career choice.
What kind of science? Yeah, pish. Who
Nonsense.
needs science?
Do something serious with your life.
What kind of scientist were you?
So I did a degree in physics. I got a first in physics, and then I did a PhD in physics, biophysics. So I was looking at anesthetic mechanisms and how our brain reacts to anesthetics. That was really interesting. And then for postdoc, I did modeling of how children learn language. So it was neural networks. So all this stuff about deep learning, neural nets, you know, that was the kind of stuff we were doing. So it's kind of given me an insight into
You're
that,
pretty well
which is a good thing.
positioned.
Well, you know, it's just a good positioning to understand the world, I'd say, right now. You know, that stuff about the fusion reactors, you know, that was obviously
I was going to say you could be making some gold, building an AI
You could build a
language
little
model.
rocket to get us up to
Yeah.
the asteroid to get some gold.
I still think we should do the heist.
Do that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it off camera.
Let's see the comment section. I don't care what people say. I believe in gold as part of a diversified portfolio. 195 likes. So a ton of people agree. Another week, another thumbnail picture of me looking confused. I'm assuming this is someone who works there or in the podcast. Long as they keep printing the magic paper, gold will always hold its value like it has for whole of human history. These are very interesting comments, you know, where you're reading them, it's like, it makes sense. I like gold. Okay. Sovereigns, happy to have them as part of my portfolio. Simple as that. Whoa, a lot of people putting their foot down. Goodness me. So glad to hear that people still aren't buying gold when I am. Oh, okay. Part of a diversified portfolio. The FTSE World ETFs. The last 8 years, it has paid off for me. Okay, Jose, you should have put the return. I just wish I bought more than 10% of my overall yearly purchase. I'm expecting a crash, but I don't think it's yet when people haven't even started a position or buying it yet. Okay, 180 likes. So a ton of people on this channel, because this is the first time me seeing this video, which is really good, by the way. Making Money Podcast, absolutely love it. First ever time, let's like that video. But yeah, a ton of people are backing gold. Would you want to have gold in your portfolio? I personally don't see why not, especially to diversify, especially to preserve your wealth, because it's not very volatile. It doesn't just jump and then back down and then jump where you can swing trade, or if you're into that, to make some extra cash or to make just some cash, period. But I don't know, man. It's up to you. It's up to you. But anyways, guys, let me know in the comment section down below. Do you agree with these comments? Do you agree with him? Would you buy it? Would you not? And whilst you're there, please like the video for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. God bless.